And then the other nice thing about this seeder is it also does canola, which most planters don't do. They do soy, so you can do soybeans with a seeder or a planter, but this one also does canola. Okay, we'll pull up alongside the Fendt and refill these again. Good. So, if we check that field, it's big. Okay. It's yellow, so it's planted. We have to wait to see if it germinates. We've got a couple of patches have failed to germinate over there by the looks of it. There's one there. The rest of these are harvested, dead crop. Ah, okay then. So we're losing crop over here for reasons. And then, gee, that's a lot of weeds we have to deal with. So there's a couple of patches where we don't have, I think that's failure in the oilseed radish crop. Oh, that's didn't lime that. Yeah. And all that needs limed and ploughed and is very expensive. So this field is now fully fertilized. These two are fully fertilized. We need to fertilize the grass. And we need to plant this field. That patch there is fully fertilized. I'm thinking that patch there was an issue with the previous year. The crop died. So there was nothing to harvest. So that fertilizer never got used up. I'm thinking, kind of torn, but I think we will put sugar beets in here as well. We'll put sunflowers in field 2. I wonder how much that field costs. Oh, way too much money. But see, we've got grass fields over here. 46, 126, 62, 175, 113, and 151. We could look at buying some of these smaller fields, harvesting them for grass, turning it into silage, and selling that 3 times during the year. But I think in order to do that, I am going to need a what is it? A foil wrap. We will look at a fast baler at that point if we're going to get into grass silage in a big way. Plus, after last year, I kind of had enough running up and down the silage bunker with getting on for 1 million litres of grass. Okay, I'll wait for the red car because we're going to have to pull wide for this, I think. This is not an ideal field to get into. Another option is this field did start life as a grass field, and we planted soybeans in it last year. I could reseed it as grass at some point, because it's a big field. Okay. for right now, I'm kind of needing the arable fields. We'll worry about more grass later. Most of the arable fields are over on that side of the map. And as we expand, we will look into purchasing many of those. And fold it up. And we'll start down the far end again. I'll set this off on a worker and bring the rest of the gear over. Started and worker. Okay. So he's all set. I'll bring him over one at a time. It's probably easier. So I'm thinking I still want one more mid-sized tractor at some point. Probably another carting trailer. And possibly a small tractor. A small field tractor. Something I can use to run some small kit out on the field. At the moment we got the Valtra, which we do use for small field work. I guess I could stick with that. It's not a big deal. Yeah, I need to get to it fairly quickly. We're going to have to fertilize all the grass fields and herbicide them, and I can't do both jobs in one growth stage. But I guess that can either be the end of today, game day afternoon, or tomorrow. Okay, that's turn the lights off, turn the engine off, press jump once, and we're at the Land Rover. We'll restrap that. It's right-hand drive, but you get out of the passenger door. It's not a bad mod, it's a little bit well, I guess. It's got a 90-mile-an-hour top speed, so it is a little tricky to control the speed on it. Trying slow maneuvers is a little tricky sometimes. However, again, I suppose you could edit the HTML for the mod, or the XML for the mod, and give it a slower speed. Okay, next time the tractor or the planter is empty, we'll fill up the fertilizer in it as well. How are we doing? Yeah, we'll use up all of the seed before we use up all the fertilizer, but we've only got one tank of fertilizer down here. should be enough to complete. I mean, we did the whole of the last field in less than 1,500 litres. And I think we have... I think the fields are about the same size. I guess we could check on that before I take over. So, lands. That field is 16.17. That field is 14. I think 1,000 litres of fertiliser should be enough for that field. So no big deal there. That's working out nicely. So I guess... Oh, what the heck. Let's go Fent Valtra. Now, I do like the metallic colour on this. Which is why I'm not running it. Yeah, I would normally have considered running this with a front loader, but it's only the main paint job that comes in these special metallic colours. You can also get it in red, green, orange, blue, black. Oh. Attach, that's what I wanted to do. Oh, we have liquid fertiliser in the... Oh, well, there we go. Let's take away all our worries. Ooh. Whee! There's some liquid fertiliser there. And I'm just in range. Okay. That was all of it, wasn't it? Yeah, okay, now I have to be very careful because the weight is on the Fent. Why am I taking liquid fertiliser with me? I'm an idiot. Okay, for some reason, complete stupidness, I was thinking... Yeah, I can take this fertiliser down to the field and refill the seeder with it, but no, I can't because seeder takes solid, not liquid. So forget that. Let's do that. Jump in the cab and go to the store. Yes, more sugar beets. Well, I'm kind of... If I'm going to buy a sugar beet harvester, it's going to be worth my while. It may be the first and last year we ever do 2 fields of sugar beets. But I think I would like to do a field of sugar beets per year. Just to spread out the crops that we're growing. And at least this year I want to prove that we can harvest them when it rains. Because if we can, or while they're wet, maybe not while they're raining, but while they're wet, if we can do that, then it gives us something to do in the late summer and fall months while we're waiting for the ground to dry out, so we can harvest our cereal crops and canola and such like. How's this tractor? Oh, we actually... one of our tractors was a little short on diesel a while back. That would be the class, and when I put the cultivator away, I was meaning to refill it. Might need to check that too when we refill it. How's it doing? 16% fertilizer, 20% seeds. So the last big field will be sunflowers, but sunflowers are not ready to germinate until the ground temperature is 7 degrees. So I'm kind of figuring I don't want to plant them today, but I might want to plant them tomorrow. It depends. I mean, it's still 8 o'clock in the morning. The sun hasn't really come out in force yet. It could be by lunchtime that the ground is back up to 7 degrees, and that we will be able to plant and have sunflowers germinate. Okay, there's a pallet of fertilizer there, I believe. So let's stop that there. Drop it off. Oh, 30,000 sell. Yes, okay. So, crop protection. So we had that 30 odd thousand. 26, 32. So we could buy that, or we could buy that. Either way, I don't need a front weight on the tractor. What's the capacity? 1800, 1100. It's 3000. That's a lot more than that one. That one carried 2200. That one takes 46. That one's 6. Coon is 43. I don't know. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. That one can have a huge working width. I'm going to stick with the stuff I'm comfortable with, so. And we will go full width. Ooh. 41,000, that's big. It's a big price, okay. And the front tank, get one of those too. There we go. So how much did that cost? 47. Meh. Okay. Let's go around this way. Now, one of the reasons I got the Hardy sprayer was because the tank capacity is 2200 and the IBC capacity is 2000, so you can always unload just one. Come on. I'm pressing the wrong button, of course. Okay, there we go. But you can empty the tank into the minimum number of IBCs. The problem with this is the rear tank is only 1800. So if you've got some in the front and some in the back, you're always going to end up with multiple IBCs. There's no way to get a full one. I could look at a liquid storage mod. Something that I can unload digestate, slurry, liquid fertilizer and herbicide into, so that we can bring it home in the tanks and then unload it into the farm storage. I mean, obviously I prefer having the tanks available because I can bring them with me when I go to fields to, you know, do a lot of work. having farm storage for the stuff is also handy, because I can fill up before I leave the farm in the morning, and I can leave the equipment empty when it's not being used. Okay, nearly back. What's this? Okay, that's the village. That's the sawmill. Next turn is us. Oh, looks like the cedar got emptied. So we're going to need to run over there and fill up. And this should be our turn. And we'll cut him up. Okay, we'll jump out and run over here. Where's my cedar gone? Over there. How much cedar we got? 862. We'll just run over with what we have. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Oh yeah, we are going to need to get the fertilizer. Unfortunately, that didn't empty the pallet. So, oh, I did it again. Go and drop that off, and we'll grab the fertilizer tank while we're here. Shiny fields. So I'll pull this up in front of the Land Rover, because I am sure we're going to need some more seed before this is done. Drop that off. Did I no, I didn't unstrap the stuff on the trailer. And now I'm stuck. Great. Really? Ugh. I'll run around the other side. I'm not proud. There we go. We can climb in that. And we'll run back across the field. And top off the fertilizer. Nice. It saw me coming. Now all I need to do is get far enough over. Oh. Bingo. Drop that in there. That should give me 50% of a tank, just over. And go back, put the seeds back on the forks. We'll park this over the side of the field and get that replanting. Zoop. A little bit more and connect. Bing. Done. And we've just set off in a completely different direction because I hit the seeder while I was reloading it. I'll let that run for now, and we can worry about it all later. Where's the Valtra? There's the Valtra. Meanwhile, I seem to recall a tank of fertilizer up the hill here. So yeah, we'll get the grass fields fertilised, which is a good start. And then, where's my fertiliser tank? Right there. So actually, while the two tanks here are smaller than the Hardy tank, whoops, wrong button, they are bigger overall, so there will be less need to head out to the fields, or yeah, come back from the fields to refill the tanks while we're doing this job. So that's kind of a good deal. I was just wondering whether you can see... Oh, you can. Yeah, you can see the pipe underneath the tractor. If I drop that off the front, that's nice. Okay. Attention to detail. That's cool. Okay, liquid fertilizer. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of cheating. We'll drag that over there. And refill from that one. And then I'll go and pull another one over as well. So, we're not going to use all of that by any stretch of the imagination. We'll put it up there, I guess. How about you come down? And we'll just slide you in there. Bang, done. Right. So that is now full. I'm going to take this over and park this by the front door, front gate. So I am not going to start fertilising right now. It is 1:15. I am hungry, and Mrs. Osa wants a new fridge. So we are going to be departing for the store soon. But for right now, I will park that there. We'll go and check on our planting stuff. We'll feed the dog. Nope, we won't feed the dog. Hey dog! Yoo-hoo! Oh well, we will check the sheeps. It's getting down to the point where we've nearly at a full bale. Okay, so, oh, here we are in the Land Rover. So a couple of missed bits here, and then obviously that triangle there that we hosed up. Okay, running jump onto the tractor and jump. Okay, so how are we doing? We have enough seed there. Okay, well that's a good, what's it, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's about 4.5 hours of streaming done this morning, or this morning today. So for right now, I'm going to call it a day. Everybody have a great weekend. And I will be back hopefully next Saturday. The thing that's going on this week during the day, I'm working, but my wife is going to be doing stuff during the day, and I join her in the evenings. May go on into Saturday next week, although traditionally it never has. So I should be streaming next Saturday, but outside chance I might not. But for now, everybody have fun, and I'm out of here.